Hello everyone. It's a pleasure to participate in this year's Digital Arctic NORA Region Conference. My name is Adam Fiser, and I'm a Senior Research Associate with the Centre for the North, an initiative of the Conference Board of Canada. My goal for this presentation is to tell you about Canada's Digital Arctic. Ironically, many residents in the Arctic regions I'll be discussing won't be able to watch this presentation online. The Canadian Arctic continues to face serious challenges related to technology access and effective adoption. But for the rest of you, my presentation will introduce some of the people who are developing Canada's Digital Arctic. I want to give you an impression of the creativity and exciting opportunities that can be found here. But I also want to convey a sense of how fragile and vulnerable Canada's Digital Arctic currently is. The following story and characters are based on research the Centre for the North has done to help people appreciate the great potential and current challenge of developing Canada's Digital Arctic. Meet Charlie, an Inuk in his early 20s who lives in a medium-sized community in the remote territory of Nunavut. Charlie has been up late, putting the finishing touches on a sound mix for a public service announcement. He has an ear for music, and in his spare time produces electro and hip-hop in his bedroom studio. In this day and age, a decent studio doesn't have to require much more than a laptop with digital audio software and some comfortable headphones. A small Winnipeg production company is producing the public service announcement to promote a federal anti-smoking campaign for the territories. One company producer had found Charlie's work on SoundCloud, a global network of over 20 million users that amateur and professional musicians use to distribute their music online. She found Charlie's unique style to be compelling and authentic to the North and invited him to bid on the contract. The Winnipeg company relies on a recently upgraded fiber-to-the-premises connection at its urban production facility. But Charlie's wireless connection depends on a legacy C-band satellite system that's nearing end of life. The difference in technologies is enormous, and a lot of ingenuity has to be applied to extend Charlie's capabilities in Canada's Digital Arctic. Just 2 to 3 years ago, it would have been impossible for Charlie to send his 100 megabyte compressed sound file to Winnipeg. Today he can, thanks to Q-File, an innovative Industry Canada funded application that caches large data files to local servers across Nunavut, while prioritizing file transfers via dedicated satellite bandwidth. Caching is beneficial for Charlie, who is able to share pieces of the soundtrack with several of his artistic collaborators from across Nunavut. One friend sent him a drum loop and bass line, while another contributed a recording of her sister's throat singing. Without the file-sharing app, the Winnipeg production company that contracted Charlie would have had to courier his work by air, which means it likely wouldn't have given him or his collaborators a chance to bid on that contract. Beyond that, Charlie would have had little opportunity to promote his music and production skills outside his isolated 800-person community. Now, Charlie dreams of one day building a production network like his heroes at Piksuk Media and Isuma TV, two leading examples of digital media in the Canadian Arctic. But he understands how fragile connectivity can be in his world. His cousin Margaret manages the local community service provider, where Charlie and other subscribers go to purchase wireless internet modems and pay their monthly subscriptions. Charlie and Margaret both know that without government support and industry partnerships, a basic 1.5 megabit per second internet connection would cost around $200 per month rather than the current $80. They also know that in the not too distant future, alternatives to the current legacy satellite system will have to be found. The potential for alternatives, such as undersea fiber optic systems, terrestrial microwave, and high-throughput satellites, is of great interest to the people and regional governments of the Canadian Arctic. The cost of these new systems is a major hurdle, and recent studies have projected that to upgrade the network Charlie depends on could cost anywhere from between $500 million to over $1 billion. The upper end of the scale is close to the annual budget of the government of Nunavut. For now, Charlie and Margaret will have to wait and see what happens next. Even the not too distant future remains uncertain. So, what characterizes Canada's Digital Arctic? Well, people like Charlie are using digital technologies for various reasons. They want to explore their creativity with new media and breathe new life into old traditions. They also want to apply their digital skills to new economic opportunities. But it's not just young artists such as Charlie who are playing, learning, and working in the digital Arctic. More and more Canadian Arctic residents have smartphones and Facebook accounts. They want to connect with their extended networks of family and friends. They use critical applications at work, at home, and wherever possible on the land. They want to explore the broader global society. They want to watch YouTube and Netflix, but they also want to see images of themselves and hear stories from the North through homegrown applications such as Izuma TV. The digital Arctic is therefore another layer of Arctic society and a new and increasingly vital element of the traditional and mixed economy that most of Canada's Arctic residents depend on to survive. Digital technologies are transforming all aspects of Canadian Arctic life. Arctic governments, including Canada's territories and regional governments in Nunavut, Quebec, and Nunatsiavut, Labrador, all depend on information technology. The public sector is the largest employer in most of Canada's Arctic regions, and wherever possible, it has been a source of innovation in the adoption of applications such as voice over IP and telemedicine. The territorial government of Nunavut, while it has faced great technological and organizational hurdles, was able to decentralize its operations beyond the capital of Iqaluit thanks to the power of telecommunications and networks. These systems enable it to share the opportunity of government employment more equitably across its 25 far-flung communities. Canada's growing Arctic resources sectors, from mining to oil and gas, are also increasingly dependent on information technology and networks. And Canada has invested in new satellite imaging technologies to help governments and industry better understand the changing Arctic landscape. Yet, today, over 50% of Canadian Arctic communities depend on legacy satellite systems. Interrelated factors such as price, income, and technology supply severely impede their ability to participate in the digital Arctic. The technological and economic hurdles are also only half of the problem. There are related socioeconomic challenges that impede the effective adoption of new technologies in Canada's digital Arctic. Inadequate infrastructure stifles the creativity of people like Charlie, but inadequate infrastructure also dissuades skilled IT professionals, teachers, and new media artists from coming to the North to share their knowledge and passion. In conclusion, digital technologies add a new and vibrant layer to Arctic society and its traditional and mixed economy. In this space, information technology is an enabler of effective public service, economic opportunity, and social cohesion. Yet today, many of Canada's Arctic communities currently lack critical supporting infrastructure that is reliable, scalable, and supportive of locally affordable services. More ingenuity, more innovation, and bolder public policy are required to help people like Charlie grow and prosper in Canada's digital Arctic. For more information about the Centre for the North and our work on the digital Arctic, I invite you to follow the links provided with my presentation. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.